My name is Brandy, and I'm going to run through a yin yoga class today. So if you've never done yin yoga, it's going to be holding postures longer and getting into a really good headspace, being into your own body. We're going to do a lot of self-love and really being present in now and in this moment. So if you've not gotten to experience this before, I look forward to being the first time you do. I will begin with us. We're going to be in a seated posture. I tend to find that my favorite is Thunderbolt. However, you can do heroes, you can do whatever's most comfortable for you. If you want to sit cross-legged and easy, or if you are interested in lotus, half lotus, you can do those as well. So however you're most comfortable sitting. But I think today I'm going to start in my normal posture because I like to have access to touching bare skin to bare skin. This is something that I find really brings me into my own body and into this present moment. So we're going to begin seated, and we're going to start with breath work. So once you find a comfortable seat, I also brought some blocks. So if you need those, you can also place those under you to get more comfortable if this is a better way to sit for you. But if you don't have those, bring books, whatever you need. So we're going to start with breathing in. We're going to take breaths in that are equal. So breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. And then we're going to move into a different type of breath. So here we go. Okay, on our next breath, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a breath in, and then before we make that exhale, we're going to stop and hold our breath for 2 seconds, and then we'll exhale. So breathe in for 4, hold for 2, breathe out for 4. I invite you now to kind of give yourself some love, some self-touch, because that is such a beautiful thing to do and really helps you get present in the moment and in your body. And from here, whatever position you did decide to take, we're going to move into our first posture, which is going to be butterfly or bound angle pose. You're going to bring your heels together and your toes together. And this can be enough if that gives you a good enough stretch. The farther out your feet are, the less of a stretch that's going to give you, less intense. And then the closer they're in, the more intense. Whatever your intensity level, it's completely appropriate for whatever your body is. So get into whatever's most comfortable, and then you can grab either at your feet and bend down. You can be out and bend to here, and that's perfectly acceptable. But whatever pose you take, ensure that you are comfortable in it, because we will be staying in it for a few minutes. So once you get into that, go ahead and just breathe through it. All right, you can slowly come out of that. And from here, we're going to extend our right leg, and then we're going to bring in our left leg, and then we're going to lean over our right leg. And again, wherever you're at, if you can go all the way down, that's wonderful. If you can't and you can be right here, also wonderful. You can use blocks if you need to. You can even put it under your thigh. However you need to do this to be most comfortable, because again, we'll be holding these postures for a little bit of a longer time frame. So go ahead and find what's best for you. And I like to hold my ankle, one on each side, and then kind of roll into it and let your breath be your guide as you breathe in. And then breathe out and lower closer if you can. Just kind of move into that stretch if you can. On an inhale, you're going to come up, and then on an exhale, we're going to switch out. So we're going to go straight into the other side. Then one side you might find is tighter than the other one, and that's completely normal. This side tends to be a bit tighter for me, so if you can't go in as much, you can use those blocks, or you can just go where it's comfortable, and it's completely appropriate and okay, but we want this to feel good. All right, you can bring it up again. And from here, we're going to grace ourselves a little bit of love to those legs because they're working very hard for us. And then we're bring them behind us. We are going to go into a frog pose. So we can go down like this. You want your legs apart, hips open. This one might be a little bit more painful if you haven't had the opportunity to do it much or often, but you don't have to go down super far. If it's more comfortable, you can place these under where your legs are at, and that would give you some support as well, because again, we're going to stay in this one for a few moments. And I'm going to place my head down on the mat because I love to activate my third eye while I'm doing any kind of yoga. So that is what I'm going to do, but please feel free to do whatever is speaking to you in this moment. And if you find that little hip movements help you in this posture, you can move back and forth. Just give your body whatever it's asking for. All right, from here you can bring it up gently and walk your knees back in. Because we're going to put them together and go into an extended child's pose. And again, if you find any movements here that just feel good for you, feel free to just grace your body with those. On your next inhale, we're going to come up into tabletop. Take your time getting there. From here, we're going to start doing cat-cows. And do these at your own pace. And move some hip movements in there. whatever's feeling good for you right now. From here, we're going to lift up our right leg. And we can point that. You can have it up if you need to, or we can point it all the way back. And then you're going to bring it in and touch your left elbow and hold it. All right, bring it back and up. And then touch your nose. Back up. Back in and down. And then up. Again, you can have it like this, straight out, whatever's most comfortable. We're going to bring it into our elbow on the opposite arm. Up and into nose. And back down. From here, we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. And this is a great stretch in the back of your legs. That's where you should be feeling it. And then we're going to walk or jump to our hands and then go into a forward fold. And you can be as folded as you need to be. You can have your chest all the way down. You can bend your knees liberally, or you can have them straight and bend. If you can't go that far, bend them until your chest rests on them. And halfway lift. And we're going to go back down. All right, from here, we're going to take it into an easy pose. And I'm going to have you interlace your fingers behind your back. If you can do this, if not, that's completely acceptable. You can just bring them behind you. But if you want to interlace them, and we're going to lean forward and over our legs with our hands interlaced. And we're going to hold this for a few minutes and do a good shoulder opening. You can also use a block for your head. So if you want to use a block, you can place that there. You can also use one under your sits bones. And then you can unlace your fingers, bring yourself back up, and I invite you to come into a Malasana. And you can again place a block underneath you if you need to. And then we're going to bring our hands together and use our elbows to push out on our knees and give us a really good stretch there. And make sure your spine stays straight, like there is an invisible string pulling your head up. That way you stay nice and anchored and strong. We're going to stay in this one for a little bit as well. Be grounded. Imagine yourself being and growing roots into the earth, and you're being held. Allow yourself to be held. And then if you want to push one, then you can push the other. And I find hip stretchers are absolutely amazing, but you can store trauma in your hips. So if this is too intense for you, or you're feeling any kind of emotions that you're not ready for, you can stop. And that's completely acceptable. But how beautiful that you can have this for yourself.